Hello, everybody. So once again, this is your teacher Geraldine, or also known as Mama Bear. So welcome back into our virtual class. I'm so excited to see you here in my class. Welcome once again, everyone. So tayo ngayon ay nasa TLE Week 5 na. So if you are holding your learning activity sheets, stay put lang po kayo dyan at mamaya sasagutan po natin. To begin with, let us have our opening prayer. So let us all remember that we are in the most holy presence of our Lord. Direct, O God, we beseech you all our action, bear holy inspiration, and bless us on bear gracious assistance, so that in every prayer and works of us today may begin with you and by you be happily ended. Amen. Okay, so I hope everybody is doing well today. Okay, are you all excited to start this virtual class for TLE Week 5? Well, I hope, na naging maayos yung pagsasagot ninyo ng inyong learning activity sheets from the previous week. So, para mas magabayan kayo in answering your learning activity sheets, let's have muna a quick recap ng inyong mga natatandaan na napag-aralan during the first 4 weeks ng ating TLE. So, napakahalaga na alam natin yung mga basics in computer system servicing. Una na dyan, yung major components ng ating computer system. So, our major components ng ating computer systems are the computer hardware and computer software. So, computer hardware refers to the physical components of a computer. Computer hardware is any part of the computer that we can touch. Okay? So, again, i-highlight lang natin dito, no? So, pag sinabi pong computer hardware, physical components that we can touch, we can feel. Yun yung mga nakikita natin. Those are the physical aspects ng ating computer. When we talk of computer software, on the other hand, so software is a collection of instructions, procedures, documentation that performs different tasks on a computer system. We can say also computer software is a programming code executed on a computer processor. So, ibig sabihin, it's not enough na computer hardware lang ang meron tayo kasi it will not serve its function as a computer unit. Dapat hindi lang computer hardware, dapat meron din tayong computer software. Kasi nga, ang computer software ay yung collection ng mga instructions and procedures para fully ma-serve ng ating computer system yung kanyang functions. Now, look at this image. So, we have here the different hardware and software components of computer. So, alin dyan ang familiar kayo? Sana marami kayong familiar na computer hardware and software. Kung hindi pa, isa-isahin natin. So, ito nakikita ninyong to is a tower type system unit. So, ang dami kong naririnig, just to share with you, na ang tawag nila dito is CPU. But actually, the CPU is just inside this system unit. So, in this system unit, nasa loob nito, makikita natin itong si memory. Okay? So, this is the memory card. We also have the motherboard. Sa motherboard, nakakabit si memory. And itong si motherboard ay nakalagay sa loob ng ating system unit. Again, system unit. So, we have here naman the monitor, computer monitor. So, iba't iba na po ang computer monitor natin. Before, meron tayong CRT or cathode ray tube monitor. And then, napalitan siya ng LCD monitors. Hanggang sa ngayon, na ang ginagamit na natin naman is LED monitor. So, ngayon, meron na rin mga touch screen monitors. Iba't iba ang uri ng ating computer monitors. This naman is the speaker. How about this one? Are you familiar with this? Yes, this is the mouse. This is the headset. This is the keyboard. And this is our printer. So, kung meron tayong hardware, sabi ko nga kanina, dapat alam din natin yung mga software components ng ating computer. So, identify natin isa-isa. So, this is the Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Java, Chrome, Gmail, Windows 7, McAfee, and this one is the Android, okay, mobile operating system. So, ito yung mga halimbawa ng ating software applications. So, dito sa hardware, may iba't iba tayong components or category. Meron ditong input devices. Ito ang input devices natin dyan, the keyboard and the mouse. Meron naman tayong output device. Ang example nun is the monitor, the speaker, okay, the headset, and the printer. Output devices. Pag storage device naman, kabilang doon yung ating memory. So, aside from this, meron pa rin tayong iba't iba pang hardware components, which I hope nabasa ninyo sa inyong learning module from the previous week. Now, going on with the software components, meron din po tayong iba't ibang categories sa ating software components. We have operating system, we have system, and we have applications. Thousands actually of applications ang pwede natin nang i-download or available, okay, in the websites. So, para mas maging detailed yung ating hardware and software comparison, again, hardware is the physical parts, okay, of the computer that cause processing of data, while software is a set of instructions that tells a computer exactly what to do. For the hardware, it is manufactured, while for the software, it is developed and engineered. Hardware cannot perform any task without software. At ganun din naman si software. It cannot be executed without the hardware. As hardware are physical electronic devices, we can see and touch the hardware. While for the software, we can see and also use the software but can't actually touch them. And another, for the hardware, it has 4 main categories. We have the input, output, storage, and internal components. For the software, it is mainly divided into system software, programming software, and application software. Hardware is not affected by computer viruses, while for the software, it is affected by computer viruses. Hardware cannot be transferred from one place to another electrically through network, while for the software, it can be transferred. For the hardware, when it is damaged, it is replaced with a new one. And for the software, if it is damaged, its backup copy can be reinstalled. Or kapag operating system natin, yung na-damaged, it can be reformatted. Example of the hardware given na natin kanina, keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, CPU, hard disk, RAM, ROM, and many more. For the software, MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Photoshop, MySQL, and many more also. And today, okay, our objectives for today are the following. Since we are in week 5 ng ating TLE, So ito ang ating learning objective 1. Identify different kinds of technical drawings. Learning objective 2, interpret technical drawing. Learning objective 3 is to prepare or make changes to electrical, electronic schematics and drawings. And for learning objective 4 is store technical drawings and equipment or instruments. So are you ready? So let's get started with TLE week 5. What is a flowchart? A flowchart is a type of diagram that represents a workflow or process. A flowchart can also be defined as a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm, a step-by-step approach to solving a task. The flowchart shows the steps as boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting the boxes with arrows. So, ano nga ba ang purpose ng flowchart? A flowchart visually displays the sequence of activities in a process and who is responsible for those activities. Mas madali natin kasing maiintindihan ang isang procedure kapag nakikita natin yung organization ng step-by-step niya or kapag presented siya into a graphical or a visual presentation using flowchart symbols. So, ito ang mga halimbawa ng mga common flowchart symbols natin. The first one is the arrow. A connector that shows relationship between the representative shapes. So, siya yung nagko-connect or nag-link into the different shapes na yung mga shapes na iyon ay may kanya ring function. So, the next one, for the first shape is the start or end symbol. It's an oval shape, represented by an oval shape. So, the terminator symbol marks the starting or ending point of the system. It usually contains the word start or end. So, pag nakita po tayo ng oval symbol, ibig sabihin yan yung start sa ating flowchart or it can be the end. Next naman, yung rectangular shape symbol natin. It is for action or process symbol. The function is, a box can represent a single step or an entire sub-process within a larger process. So, kapag di ba sa process natin or yung mga procedure natin, say for example, you're about to diagnose a problem in your computer. So, dapat po makita doon yung rectangular shape na yun if you wanted to indicate a certain action or procedure. The next one, yung diamond, it represents a decision. So it's a decision symbol, a decision or branching point, lines representing different decisions emerge from the different points of the diamond. While the parallelogram naman represents material or information entering or leaving the system, such as customer order, okay, as an input, or a product, which is the output. So, yung parallelogram natin is for input or output symbol. This is an example flowchart. So, look at it closely. So, yan yung halimbawa ng ating sample flowchart. The start is lamp doesn't work. So, for the decision, lamp plugged in. If it's no, so with the connecting arrow, you have to plug in the lamp. So, ito yung process or action na dapat natin gawin. While for the second one, bulb burned out, you have to replace bulb. And then, after all this decision, kapag ka naman no, pareho, okay, so you have to buy new lamp. Diba? So, kapag ka na-plug in na natin, tapos wala naman nangyari, kunyari, naka-plug in naman na, pero hindi talaga nag-work. Yung bulb, hindi naman burned out. So, ano ang gagawin natin? So, this will be the end. Buy new lamp. Alright? So, that's an example of a flowchart. Let's move on to technical drawing. So, technical drawing is the act and discipline of composing drawings that visually communicate how something functions or is constructed. This is essential for communicating ideas in industry and engineering. To make the drawings easier to understand, people use familiar symbols, perspectives, unit of measurement, notation, visual styles, and page layouts. Together, such conventions constitute a visual language and help to ensure that the drawing is unambiguous and relatively easy to understand. So, mas madali kasi nating mafi-figure out kung ano yung i-construct, say for example, a building, okay, or an electrical installation procedure. So, dapat yun, meron tayong technical drawing. So let's try to identify these lines. Do you still remember this line? So this one, I hope you get the right answer. It's object or visible lines. Thick dark line, which is used to show outline of object, visible edges, and surfaces. Pag nakita naman natin yung ganitong line, this means it's a dimension line. It's a thin and dark line used to show the size or span of an object with a numeric value. Usually terminates with arrowhead or tick markings. How about this one? Are you sure? This is hidden line. So short dashed lines used to show non-visible surfaces, usually shown as medium thickness. So, itong mga alphabet of lines nito usually ay nakikita sa mga technical drawings. Now, let's move on to identify the different electrical wiring diagram. So, dito sa electrical wiring diagram, we have two. Okay, we have two types. The first one is the pictorial diagram. So, this is the pictorial diagram. Okay. And then, we also have a schematic diagram. So, this is a schematic. Again, this is pictorial. So, ano yung napapansin ninyo sa dalawang diagram na to? What are their differences? Yes, they definitely differ in the design, okay? Or they differ on how they are being presented. So, the pictorial diagram is a sketch of electrical circuit that shows the external appearance of each component. So, malapit na siya, di ba, sa kung ano yung itsura niya in actual. That's why it's pictorial diagram. It is much like a photograph of the circuit and uses simple images of parts. While for the schematic diagram, it is a sketch showing the components of the circuit using standard electrical symbols, and it shows the actual wiring routed but not the actual location. So dito, kapag schematic diagram, you must be familiar with the electrical symbols. Like for this one, this is for the current. This symbol is for the load or the lamp. And this one is for the switch. So, kailangan meron kayong familiarization with the electrical symbols for you to interpret this kind of diagram. While for pictorial diagram, hindi na kayo mahihirapang i-interpret kasi nga, siya ay gumagamit na ng mga photograph or images of the different parts or components ng diagram. Moving on with the different types of circuit. So, we have two types of circuit. The first one is the series circuit. Ano nga bang series circuit? So, it is a circuit in which lamps are arranged in a chain so that the current has only one path to take. The current is the same through each load, and an example of this is Christmas light. It consists of several bulbs that are connected side by side to meet the voltage requirement, which is 220 volts for alternating current. So, ang series circuit, tandaan natin, okay, isa lang ang path na dinadaanan ng kanilang current. So, look at this image. This is an example of a series circuit. Mapapansin natin, they only have one path to take. They are connected, no, to each other. While the second one is the parallel circuit. So parallel circuit is a circuit in which lamps are connected across the wire. So kanina, single path. Ito naman, they are connected across the wires. The voltage across each load on parallel circuit is the same. The advantage of using parallel circuit is that even in one of the lamps fails, still the remaining lamps will function. Hindi madadamay yung iba. This is an example image or figure for parallel circuit. What about the electrical plan? So electrical plan is a graphical presentation of electrical wiring connections to install in a house or building. It indicates the position of electrical fixtures such as convenience outlets, switches, lightings, doorbells, and others to be installed. So hindi lang pala yung floor plan or yung floor layout yung dapat nating i-consider when you are constructing a building or a home. Even yung electrical wiring installations, so dapat pinaplan din natin. And ito nga yun, yung electrical plan. If you take care of your tools, they will return the favor. Proper care and routine maintenance of your hand tools and power tools makes any home improvement or repair project easier, safer, and more successful. Proper tool care also saves you money because the better they're cared for, the longer they last, diba? So kahit naman anong bagay, even hindi yung mga bagay lang for technical drawings, equipment, or instruments, kahit yung mga personal nating bagay, if we take care of them, they will return the favor kasi it will prolong their life and they will be able to serve its function. Now, let's have a final evaluation. So, you're going to answer your activity in your learning activity sheets. So, I have here 2 activities na sinelect ko. So, the first one is the matching type. And the second one is yung identification. So, let's look at this. So, under the lesson 4, allow me to read the direction, matching type. So, you're going to match statements from column A with the symbols from column B. Ayan, I hope that naaalala nyo pa yung ating diniscuss about this. So, you have to connect column A to column B. If you have there a piece of paper, a ball pen, and a pencil, you can use it and write down your answers. Okay, so this is the answer for this part. So this indicates a decision. The answer for this is letter E. So yung diamond shape natin dyan. Well, for number 2, this represents a process. The answer here is letter B, yung rectangular box natin. For number 3, this represents input or output. The answer is letter D, the parallelogram. For number 4, this represents a start or end point. Letter A, the oval shape. And for number 5, this is a connector that shows relationships between the representative shapes. This is the arrow. Okay, so I hope that you got it all correctly. So, sana nakuha ninyo yung 5 items na yan. Now, let's move on to activity number 2 or letter B. Allow me to read the instruction for you. Identify what is being asked in each sentence. Choose your answer from the word bank. So, this is the word bank. And write the letter of your answer on a separate sheet of paper. Wag na separate sheet of paper. So, para tipid tayo, you can use the sheet of paper that you used a while ago for part A. Okay, so I hope you're done. The correct answer for number 1, it is a graphical presentation of electrical wiring connections to install in a house or building. So, pag sinabi natin graphical presentation, the answer here is letter D. So, graphical presentation of electrical wiring connections. For number 2 is a circuit in which lamps are arranged in a chain so that the current has only one path to take. Natatandaan ba yung circuit that has one path to take? The answer here is letter B, series circuit. And for number 3, it is a circuit in which lamps are connected across the wires. The answer here is letter A, parallel circuit. For number 4, it is a sketch showing the components of the circuit using standard electrical symbols. Letter C is schematic diagram. And last but not the least, for number 5, it is a sketch of electrical circuit that shows the external appearance of each component. The answer here, letter E, pictorial diagram. So that's it for today. I hope that you learned a lot from our session. Alright, that's it for today. Goodbye, everybody. See you in my next virtual class.